Hello friends, it's Deckard6 here. It's been a while, hasn't it? But with the new EU4 expansion, I figured it was only common sense that I make another go at recording. This time, we're going to be playing the Mamluks. When it got added, I'm not entirely sure, but I've recently noticed when just clicking around and looking at nations, wrong tab, the form Egypt and the form Arabia. I wasn't exactly aware when, but Arabia got a cultural union tag. And I thought this would be a neat game to go for a cultural union of Arabia. So, I'm also not exactly aware when Egypt came. I think that was also pretty new. So, we're going to be doing a Mamluk to Egypt to Arabia game. I've also finally picked up Star and Crescent specifically because I'm figuring, you know what? I'm doing a Arabia-centered game. I might as well pick up some of the additional Muslim content out there. It's only a small, additional content, but I picked it up for this. So let's take a look at Mamluk's initial start. Our big problem is going to be the Ottomans are going to come for the Levant. That's inevitable. They're going to come for us. We have guarantees on Cyprus, which is a Catholic Crusader state, I believe, at this point. Yeah, it's Orthodox island, but it's ruled by Catholics, so I think it's a remnant of a Crusader state. And we're also guaranteeing Hejaz, I'm not sure how it's pronounced exactly, as the guardians of both Mecca and Medina. I'm pretty sure we get a bonus for owning Mecca at some point. So I think we're going to want to absorb them, but possibly through diplomacy rather than immediate conquest. Let's see. They're not too far off of accepting vassalization. And we do have plenty of other options for expansion in the midterm. Speaking of which, let's take a look at our national ideas. We have sort of a hodgepodge of military and trade ideas. And because of our location on the trade routes, that means to make full use of our trade, we're probably going to want to expand into the Middle East, pull from Apello into Alexandria, and down into Africa, pull from Ethiopia and Egypt into Alexandria. Because we have a decent choke point. The only problem we're going to face is a lot of other people, such as the city-states in Italy, Ottomans, possibly Spain, maybe France. Oh, there's a lot of people that are going to be interested in pulling out of Alexandria into these terminus nodes, or other choke point nodes here. So we're going to need to protect Alexandria as much as we're worrying about pulling in from the east and the south. Since we're already using relationship slots with Hejaz, I figure I might as well ally them. I don't want them to expand. That way I can vassalize them fairly easy. But at the same time, I'm already using a slot on them. I mean, I could always just revoke the guarantee and then go invade them, but that would probably piss them off and destroy my reputation. And in the short term, I could probably use the allies. So let's ally them. I'm not actually making a royal marriage with them, so I don't think I can with them. Maybe I can? I think they're technically a... what's the term? Theocratic state, so I don't think they can do royal marriages. But I'll double check on that. I think there's an event chain for annexing Cyprus as well. And right now Hejaz sort of blocks our entrance into Arabia, so Africa's sort of our other good option. They're not... oh, they're a Shia state. Well, that gives us a good justification. I was like, oh, I really don't want to have to go to war with another Sunni state right away. But if they're Shia, well, that's no problem. They're different culture, they're a hodgepodge mix of religion, but they generally expand our control up the Nile and in the direction we want for trade pull. So I think the Makuria here are pretty screwed. They're going to get eaten hardcore. So Fazan, what do you look like? You're totally willing to accept vassalization right away. One of the first things I'm going to do then is going to be vassalizing you. I'll start getting relations up with you. Can I pick... they're too small. Makuria is too small for a rival. Well, the Karakiolo, QQ here, they're a good rival, I think. They're the only way into Arabian territory, into, you know, Baghdad, possibly down to the East Coast through them. So they're definitely worth a rival. And the Ottomans have rivaled me. Damn. I was hoping to be able to butter them up and avoid them attacking me to get the Levant, so I'm going to have to worry about building up since I can't butter them up since they're rivals. So there's no reason not to be rivals with them, is there? Well, I'm not actually planning on attacking them anytime soon. But who else am I planning on attacking? I mean, I might want to get Crete from Venice just to get a little more control of Alexandria. But that's sort of long term. The Timurids are also on my hit list. I think Venice is a decent choice, simply so I can embargo them, because I'm going to want to embargo them. So let's grab that. Leaving with one more rival to choose. I'm probably going to end up fighting the Ottomans anyway. And the Timurids are on the other side of QQ, so I'm not going to be fighting them until I get through QQ. So let's grab the Ottomans. So that takes care of rivals. That gives us also some, direction. Apparently we have Catholics still. Let's get rid of those Catholics. We actually have a fairly decent amount of piety at the moment. Piety, whatever. So it shouldn't be too hard to convert them. Provincial unrest, that's Lebanese separatists probably from the Catholics. Alright. Court, do we have the money to hire some courtiers? We definitely do. Unfortunately, our military courtiers are all tier 2, so we can't really afford to pay them. Ooh, extra diplomatic reputation for that early vassalization will definitely be useful. And extra tax modifier, I think. Yeah, we make more from tax than from reduction, so I think the tax modifier is better. All other things being equal. Oh, we have Conquest of Jerusalem, which gives extra missionaries. Good to know. Alright, let's sort through our militaries, since there's sort of a mess here. What's the amount that we're allowed to have for cavalry? You're allowed to have almost 80% cavalry. So we can really go buck wild when it comes to cavalry. I actually might revamp some of these armies in the near future. Yeah. So, do we want to group them up into two large armies, or keep them as 3 smaller operating forces? Well, we need at least 9,000 men to siege down forts using the new fort system. But I don't think our immediate target actually has any forts. They have a capital fort, which I think is smaller, so probably not. So I think we can keep them as 3 smaller armies to spread out attrition in the meantime. I'm going to get you protecting Alexandria. Go home when well, no. We're going to be fighting the south, and you're not going to be at risk at all. Let's see. Adopt title of Khalifa. Since we're going high piety anyway at the moment, I think that's definitely worth it. Yeah. Extra yearly prestige, extra piety, good for us. We're already having an alliance going out, so let's grab the mission there. Alright. I think it's time to actually unpause and let the game start going. Of course, I'm probably going to pause it in a second right away. Yep, this mission's complete. Let's look what a new mission is. Rabba. Where's Rabba? It's telling me to get Rabba. I think there's a good chance that will be one of my next targets. But I'm not actually going there first. I think I'm going to grab this African country first. It's sort of like low-hanging fruit. It's going to give us extra piety for declaring war on Shia. We can make use of all our missionaries. It'll expand our control of trade in the region. It seems like good low-hanging fruit for the short term. So I'm going to put off the whole taking Rabba thing that it seemingly wants me to do. Once my military's grouped up... Come on. Having a little bit of a lag, I think, from the recording. I wasn't having this lag when I was playing on my own. Okay, so apparently they do have a government type that allows them to have royal marriages. Do I want that royal marriage? I think so. I mean, if I am going to have to go to war with them, it's going to be later. I have plenty of other options for expanding in the short term, so I think a long-term relationship will work. Also, Ramazan is interested in an alliance. This could bring me into earlier conflict with the Ottomans, which I'm not really happy about, but it could also slow to expand them. Personally, I don't think they're worth it, at least not at the moment. I'm just gonna decline that alliance for the time being. However, I will grab an alliance over here. Do a little bit more peaceful expansion. They're also a duchy, which makes them more likely to accept vassalization. New kingdom rank levels sort of gives you some way of deciding, like, oh, this person's a lower rank. They're more inclined to be vassals to me. I haven't actually got to play an empire. I'm technically a kingdom, I believe. Yeah, I'm a kingdom. What do I need to become an empire? Oh, getting a whole bunch of people. The initial embargo is going out. I should probably do that too. Empire, I need 1,000 development and 75 prestige. So it's a big deal to become an empire. Now, when people are doing their embargoes, I should probably remember to do that as well. That gets my initial actions out. Issue embargo against Venice. Wait for my diplomats to finish their thing. Issue embargo against Ottomans. And issue embargo against QQ. You guys cannot trade and have access to my fabulous wealth. So you guys don't have any allies. And they're desperately trying to improve relations with me. Oh, I don't actually have claim on them to start with. I almost forgot about claims. Silly me. I don't have a mission that gets me after them, right? Right. Well, I can deal with this. Covert action, fabricate claim. And I'm not going to bother fabricating a whole bunch of claims, just one to justify the start of the war. Because the benefits of having claims when it comes to integrating territory now and coring territory are a lot smaller than they used to be. Only 10% base. Anything else I can be looking at? Are you actually likely to... You're still at 0. And you're going pretty fast. But I could probably station some troops there just to make sure your revolt risk stays low. Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about is... Not the only thing, but the only thing I'm worried about, particularly with the alliance with Hejaz, is I don't want them to use me as a means of expanding and then be able to resist vassalization. Almost 50%. You're freaking loving me right now. QQ's going after Georgia. Georgia have any allies to back them up? Trabzon. You know, this reminds me of another campaign I played in recently, but I feel like I was on the other side. And this will probably not go as well for the Orthodox as it did in that campaign. Though the Ottomans ultimately spelled an end to that Orthodox dream. I want the freaking claim. Give it to me now. Its Nubians will be conquered. We'll probably end up going religion and starting to convert some of these peoples. We will eventually be getting like a cultural union with Arabian. So all the area here in green, yeah, that's light green. That's all going to be cultural union with us. Unfortunately, that no longer. It used to be that all of North Africa was at least dotted, if not completely, part of the same culture group. But now it's all sort of chopped up into these other cultures: Berber, Moroccan, Tunisian, Algerian, which are also in a different group. They're part of the Maghrebi group now rather than the Arabic group. So we no longer get that cultural union going all the way across North Africa. Still, it's a sizable cultural union. And if you're unfamiliar, cultural union is it makes all cultures within a group accepted cultures. Alright, now we got claim. None of my allies won in. Distant war, threatened attitude, so they don't actually feel like backing me up right now. I should probably actually put a general in one of these armies. You know, it couldn't hurt. How good's our king? Our king's pretty crap, but his heir's even worse. I'm willing to risk losing him, I guess. I mean, that heir's really bad, but there's still probably plenty of chances to get him murdered. Now, let's recruit an actual general. He's decent. I might just use him to engage the main enemy. Have the other guy sort of back him up and then go occupy terrain. So my right plan is to have the guy with a general advance toward the enemy capital and have you follow him up. The enemy doesn't have a proper fort, so they don't have any zone of control, so I should be able to just grab territory. Aha, here you are. You're going that way. Can I beat you there, or are you gonna... Oh, you're stopping. Alright, so now you can come in as well. Let's gather everyone together. Land technology useless. Like, I don't like losing prestige, but it exists basically to be spent to protect my more valuable stats at the moment. And I have plenty of things generating prestige, so I have no... Yeah, that's fine to spend. Yeah, this war's gonna go quick and easy. Alright, get my guy with a general. Probably going toward their capital. I think that's where they're gonna be. And you can just start... Oh, they're not going that way. I guess you can swing up and actually wipe out their army. I thought they were going to fall all the way back to the fort. Alright, and they're gone. Quick, efficient little war. Not really caring. There's not a whole lot of loot to take here. Hello, what's that? Somebody else is trying to get a piece of them. Adolia. Alodia. I keep trying to pronounce names with only like half reading them and just jump into conclusions how they're spelled. Well, we might still be able to get a full annexation of them. Conquer Iraq. That's another good potential one. Who are they allied with? Carmen? That might be where I go next. Naval race versus Venice. There's a few tempting missions in there, but I'm not quite willing to commit to one yet. If you grab any territory out of this, I'm simply coming for you next. You're a Coptic country. You're next on the hit list anyway. Alright. Let's see what I can get out of this. Every bit of territory that is not occupied by the other invaders mine. None of these matter, I think, since they're going to be basically gobbled up instantly. However, I will take whatever gold they have left. Yoink. And peace. None of these should have a really high cost. They're a bit more than I was expecting. Oh wow, a whole bunch of these 111s though should be fairly cheap. It's like 30 is sort of the base for them. Yeah. Base cost 10, plus development value. Alright. So this is not really great territory. It's a whole bunch of desert, really. Wasteland, practically. What is it actually called? It's just a desert. This is actual wasteland. This is desert. Slight difference. But it's going to be uppity for a while. Lots of unrest. And that's going to... Is it really worth it? I mean, we're going to get bonuses for the trade power, I think, more than anything else. Providing 1.1 trade power for the node. So, that's something, I mean. It's basically giving us some trade power for the node. Probably going to leave one army... maybe leave both armies down here for the time being, since there's likely to be at least one rebellion, and I'm probably going to keep them around there until the rebellion fires, then bring them up. The low quality of our king is going to be a limiting factor on how rapidly we can expand. Just because we're not going to have that many administrative points to core territory with, which is going to be quite frustrating. Well, that's part of the reason I'm doing things like seeking vassals as ways of expansion. Oh look, they're fighting a war, and it looks like, yep, they're expanding. Crap. That's exactly what I didn't want to have happen. As you can see, they're now a little bit further away from being vassalized by us. We expand, they expand, we don't get any closer to absorbing them. And they went with the autonomy option, so they're not coming unrest. I mean, I could expand autonomy here. Like, what am I losing if I extend autonomy here? That's a good question. If the revolt hasn't triggered soon, it... Where is this revolt potentially triggering? Wadi Halaf. Where is that? Give me a chance to find the territory and know where it is. Can I find it? Ah, there. You know what? Yeah, I mean, I really don't care about lowering taxes for you. This whole region is not worth a lot. I mean, I think the whole region is worth less than Cairo. So let's take a second to look at forts. We don't have great fort coverage. By the way, apparently you now have enough to get this on, so let's do that before I forget. Hey, you were going to be a vassal. Where did that go? Oh, they're a vassal of Tunis now. Oh, those sons of bitches. Oh my god. I just got block-cocked. That's really annoying. I'm filled with a white-hot rage that will only be sated by the blood of my enemies. Tunis is, of course, allied with the Ottomans, making a immediate retaliatory strike. Be like, no, man, these are supposed to be my vassal. Probably isn't the most viable move. Oh, good. Hejaz is expanding again, potentially. Maybe we'll get lucky and they lose to Yemen? Board attentions. Well, that's really directing me toward Rahab. Let's see, where's Shendi? Not sure where that is. I've actually used a finder for that. Shendi, where are you? Ah, so it's a Sunni province within a Coptic nation. That's what it's trying to get me to do. I mean, maybe. These African adventures are easy, at least, and they're expanding territory. It's one of the directions I want to go. The only question is, are they the most immediate value direction? Am I less likely to, like, how likely am I going to get cut off in Africa? Really? What are the odds that a major power is going to come in and cut off my ability to expand in Africa? Not very likely. Where it's possible something can change here, people can make allies with the Ottomans, that kind of stuff. And screw with my ability to expand over here. I think I want to take Iraq, because it's a Syrian Sunni province. So it's accepted culture, right religion. It's something I want, and they don't have any allies. So I think I'm going to start fabricating a claim on Iraq. Which will start moving me in the direction of conflict with QQ, which also doesn't have any allies. I mean, they're a strong nation, but they also don't have any allies. Looks like Hejaz is winning their war against Yemen. They're not even having to use me to expand, they're just winning on their own. Alright, cores are going to finish up soon enough. So I'm really thinking, beat these guys up, take Iraq, and possibly push into Iraq. Because what territories are actually required for the Arabian Cultural Union? A lot. Basically, you have to own, I think there's at least one of those territories in every culture group, so we're going to have to take Iraq anyway. Alright. Coring's finished. Man. I allied with you, not expecting you not to expand. I'm down by 59 points toward actually making you an ally, and it's going to keep getting further away. Gift estate. I think we just need the cash more. We don't really have a whole use for prestige, and it's going up on its own anyway. Having a decent war chest. Alright, now let's do some conversions. It's going to take a while. Oh, Coptic's resistant to conversion, and so is Shia. Is there anything else we can do to expand our conversion? This would be great. Unfortunately, our quality of leader isn't good enough. So that's sort of our problem, is our leader sucks. Which, with these guys having natural resistance to conversion, makes it quite difficult. Now I'm still debating about the rebellion down here. It's almost ready to trigger, so I have to decide soon. Lowering the autonomy is not going to be enough to prevent the rebellion. It'll delay it, but it won't prevent it. Syria's broken free. Well, if you're a one... You know what? Let's get my king as a leader. Oh, actually, a good leader. I understand that you want to be my ally, Syria, now. But I've been burned on this whole vassal thing before. Oh, I have a letter arrives from Ethiopia. No, I want to pause. I forgot that it auto-paused. Lose prestige, gain bonus playing with Ethiopia, gain prestige, and insult Ethiopia. Yeah, I really don't care about your Copts. If you want to protect them, come yourself. Don't send a messenger. Come with an army. In Syria, you're going down real quick. I'm sorry. And another time, I might have been willing to vassalize you peacefully and integrate you, but I really don't see the point right now. You're not that big a state. You're really vulnerable right now. I'm just going to pop over, occupy your castle, and subjugate your people. It's nothing personal, it's just business, you know? I might have been more amenable to vassalization if I hadn't been burned on that with the Fez over here. Man. I was going to be your sugar daddy. But no, you backed with Tunis. Who admittedly is allied with the Ottomans, which gives them indirectly a lot of potential power to defend you. But still, Tunis, when I was around? Alright. I don't think you really have any cash to give me. Probably a little bit. Oh, there's the revolt. Oh, you actually have a surprising amount. Not a lot, but a surprising amount. Alright, start coring you. The rebels were successful simply because they're occupying... There's no forts in the region, so they're occupying territory super quick. Let's go put an end to them. Shamar wants an alliance. Who's Shamar? You're Shamar. Did Yemen actually... Did Jazaz actually expand to that last one? Yeah, a little bit. Allying Shamar would potentially contain Hazaj by one direction. Without the distance penalty, they'd be willing to vassalize, so I guess I'll pick them up. And I don't really have a plethora of powerful allies that are looking to join me. So, taking what I can get. I want to ally the Ottomans, but they just naturally rival me right at the beginning. Historical rival, competing great power, and rival. They're... Yeah, I'm not gonna have a good time. Not for the historical rival stuff, I'd seriously consider trying to get them to like me. Whoa. Where do you think you're going? No, it's not who I wanted to select. I want to select you. That's exactly what I want to avoid with my selections. But no. They don't have a good leader, so I should probably still be able to just overwhelm them with my numbers in this guy. There we go. Alright, and that takes care of the rebellion. Still not even worth trying to convert. Since I lost some of that piety, it's literally not worth trying to convert. Hey, you want to give me that Take Rahab mission again? Because that's totally where I'm going to go next. Yeah, I have a... When did I get this? Did I actually make that? I don't remember. Alright, this will go nice and easy. I should be able to keep unrest down here. Why is my legitimacy low? Did it start low? Man, I've so many things to keep track of in this game that I'm like, hey, when did this happen? Oh, right. Marital marriages lower legitimacy, don't they? I've been playing a whole bunch of Republics, so I've been forgetting some of the mechanics for royal marriages. I'm looking at where to build some forts. We really can't afford the maintenance on more forts, though, not without mothballing them. If I were to build more forts, where would I build them? Jerusalem's a good target. That would sort of expand fort control in this area. Here would be a potential. Benghazi would be a potential location. I don't have any place that's a mountain or anything, do I? This one actually might be better than... Alright, so here we're considering the benefits of location, protecting all those territories, protecting a lot more territories, versus Al-Karak, which is in a mountain, which has the defensiveness bonus, which means it'll take longer to siege. Choices. I'm also taking a second to look at our sort of development levels and stuff, and like, outside of this super rich, Nile River Delta area, we don't have a whole lot of area to work with. So we're very focused in an empire that is based around the wealth of the Nile Delta, allowing us to control other regions. Okay, I guess the Damascus region isn't too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. Jerusalem's got some development, Apello's got some, Damascus has some. But for the most part, it's not I don't think it's quite as valuable as that Nile Delta region. At the very least, without having the farmlands, it doesn't have the same building potential. The question is, next, as far as I see it, is how far do I want to push here? Like, how much do I want to go for? Do I want to go for the nice, quick, and easy, just grabbing Rahaba? Or do I want to go a little deeper? I think I'm at least going to try to grab some of the... Alright, this is another Sunni territory, so I definitely want to grab it as well. So let's start fabricating a claim on that. Manpower is mostly full. I have the least excuse to let that fill up while I'm fabricating claims. So, they're allied with the Gazmuks, but there's small... Yeah, they're a small little territory over here. So I'm going to at least want these two territories. Sunni Arab territories that I definitely want. Shia is going to be a bit tricky to convert, but it is Arab, and it does border me, and it would sort of give me a little bit easier time pushing in here. And part of me wants to grab this whole sort of northern nugget. No, Mosul is actually Kurdish. So I think I'm going to limit myself to the border territories that are of the correct culture. Oh hell, noble families. Oh, Rosetta, I don't think you're a particularly valuable territory. Where are you? Where is Rosetta? Oh, Rosetta is actually fairly valuable. I'll pay the diplomacy points. So I think I'm going to take Sinjar as well. I think I'm going to take those 3 territories, and that'll be the extent of my goal for this war. Do I have more... Oh, yeah, I have a lot more force than what I can fill up. Holy crap. Okay, so let's do that. I think I'm going to do cavalry since I can afford the cavalry, and I'm allowed to have mostly cavalry anyway. So let's build 2 more cavalry for you, 2 more cavalry for you, and 1 more cavalry for you. Just fill up my remaining things to get these all up to 10,000 men each, with a slightly larger ratio of cavalry than they had before. You know, I never actually declared war on you. You might be an interesting option. If I vassalize you, I could then feed Kurdish provinces to you, since you're a Kurdish Sunni state, and turn you into a Kurdish vassal. I kind of like that idea. Assuming you don't get eaten or vassalized by somebody else while I'm trying to do this, it seems like a good option to me. And I'll start claiming that last province. Yeah, I can't have them. Yeah, that's an interesting option. By using a Kurdish vassal. Because how big is Kurds? Kurds are a decent-sized minority, decent-sized culture. That's the word I'm looking for. And Syria is such a hodgepodge of cultures. Probably Riyadh still a hotbed of cultural strife today. When you have all these cultures crossing different political boundaries. So that gets me a basic sized. Yeah, decent sized army. It still leaves me with more force limit, doesn't it? I only built 5 more men. Yeah, I still have like 6 more force limit. I could probably fill that up too. Well, I'm gonna wait for your takeover. Wait for your takeover, and then I'm gonna call this episode. So we've conquered a little bit of land and pacified that land. We've got our next big target as we're going after QQ. Hazaj is being a little frustrating. I want the vassalize them, but they're not staying small. They actively are expanding. How we consider them. And I got block cocked on Fazan. Ups and downs, ins and outs. I'll probably fill up my force limit with cavalry and look into going after QQ next time. This has been Deckard6, and I appreciate you joining me on this new adventure.